of proxies representing 3,345,219,518 number of shares and 55.75% of the issued share capital of the company. Therefore, I have great pleasure in declaring this meeting open. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the directors of your company. For my right is a man you're familiar with, and is the Group CEO, Mr. Peter Ashade. You'll be hard-pressed to find a better-dressed banker in the industry. And next to him is Mr. Emmanuel Unoram. Next to Mr. Emmanuel Unoram is, again, a face you're familiar with, and is Mr. Oladipupo Fatokun. And next to him is a new face on the board, and so we're very happy to have, and she's Mrs. Rose. We're very happy to have, and she's Mrs. Rose. Thank you. To my left is a face you all know, the company secretary. And next to him is the deputy group chief executive, Mr. Sonny Anene. Is Mr. Chuigo. No, actually is Ayo Adigo. Not at the office. And next to Mr. Adigo is a new face to the board, Mr. Chugo Undubisi. And to his left, and the extreme of the table, by no means the least, is Mr. Samuel Wanze. His deeds speak for him. And we have, unavoidably absent but participating virtually, two directors, Mr. Oluleke Ogunlewe and Mr. Uche Ike, and they'll be participating virtually. And I am Chika Modi, the board chairman. Distinguished shareholders, we had a sad event happen this year, last month, and we lost Chief Augustine Ezechukwu, who died on March 10, 2024. May I request that we observe a minute of silence for him? May his soul rest in perfect peace. Amen. We also have with us here representatives of the following regulators. Nigerian Exchange Limited, we have Mr. Bonaventure Onwuji. The Securities and Exchange Commission, we have... It's not... Okay, the representative is yet to be here. When he gets here, we would introduce him or her, or them. The Corporate Affairs Commission, we have Mr. Nuruddin Ismail. I would also like to introduce to you representatives of the following organizations. The external auditors, PricewaterhouseCoopers, represented here by Mrs. Chidi Ojechi. You're welcome. The registrar, African Prudential PLC, represented by Mrs. Catherine Nwosu. And the board evaluation consultant, Angela Neko and Company, they are virtually participating, and they are represented by Mrs. Kewe Ungbojiwikwe. Also here are members of the Statutory Audit Committee, Mr. Paul Olele, Pastor Alex Adio, Mrs. Faith George Usman, Sir Stephen Wadioku. Okay, both Sir Wadioku and Mrs. George Usman are yet to be heard. When they join us, we would acknowledge their presence. And finally, already on the board and introduced, Mr. Oladipupo Fatoku. We wish to have a full recording of the meeting, so microphones are connected to a tape recorder and they are in use. Please make use of the microphones when you wish to second a motion or ask a question. Please state your name clearly and endeavor to be brief and straight to the point so we can have as many of you. We would like everyone to speak. That is not possible, but we want to get as many as we can, and if there's brevity, then we can get more people. Please do not repeat what the previous speaker has said. And can you also note that the Register of Directors shareholding and the record of attendance at board meetings of directors eligible for election are available for inspection at the registrar's table during this meeting. That's on that table. I will now call upon the Company Secretary to read the notice of meeting on page 185.
Notice of Annual General Meeting of United Capital PLC. Notice is hereby given that the 11th Annual General Meeting of United Capital PLC will hold at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel, 1 Agui Ironsi Street, Maitama, Abuja, on Tuesday, April 23, 20 a.m. to transact the following businesses. Ordinary business: to lay before the members the audited financial statements for the year ended December 31, 2023, and a report of the directors, auditors, and audit committee thereon. 2, to declare a dividend. 3, to appoint the following new directors: Mr. Ayodeji Adigun, Mr. Samuel Nwanze, Mr. Chugo Ndubisi, Mr. Uche Ike, and Mrs. Rose Nateshat. 4, to re-elect the following directors retiring by rotation: Mr. Emmanuel Norom and Mr. Oluleke Ogunlewen. 5, to authorize the directors to determine the remuneration of the auditors. 6, to disclose the remuneration of managers. 7, to elect members of the Statutory Audit Committee. 8, to consider and, if thought fit, pass the following as an ordinary resolution: that the directors' fees payable to non-executive directors until further notice be and is hereby fixed at the sum of 230 million naira only for the year ending December 31, 2024. Such payments to be effective from January 1, 2024. This is dated March 28, 2024, by the order of the board. Leo Okafor. Note: any member of the company. Thank you.
Thank you, Leo. It's now time for me to read the chairman's statement on page 30 of the annual report. Okay, thank you. Thank you for waiving my reading of the statement, and we consider it as read. Thank you. I will now ask a representative of the auditors to read the auditor's report on page 84. Approved.
Okay, thank you very much. So the independent auditor's report to the members of United Capital PLC is on page 84 of the annual report. Report on the audit of the consolidated and separate financial statement. In our opinion, the financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of the company and its subsidiaries as at 31 December 2023, and its financial performance and cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standards and the requirements of the Company and Allied Matters Act and the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Amended Act 2023. We have audited the profit and loss and other comprehensive income. We have audited the financial position. We have audited the statement of changes in equity and the statement of the statement of cash flows and the notes to the financial statement. We have conducted our audit in accordance with the international standards of auditing. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibilities section. We are independent of the group in accordance with the International Code of Ethics of Professional Accountants, and we have fulfilled our other ethical responsibilities in accordance with the code. The opinion also has key audit matters, which are the matters that, in our own professional judgment, were of most significance in the audit of the financial statement of the current period. And the key audit matter here is the impairment allowance on financial assets measured at amortized cost. The details of why this is a key audit matter and how our audit addressed this key audit matter is on page 85 of the annual report. The report also mentions the responsibilities of directors and the auditor's responsibilities. I'll go ahead and read the report on other legal and regulatory requirements on page 88 of the annual report. The Company and Allied Matters Act require that in carrying out our audit, we consider and report to you in the following matters. We confirm that we have obtained all the information and explanation which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purposes of our audit. The company has kept proper books of accounts so far as appears from our examination of those books and returns. So far as it appears from our examination from those books and returns adequate from our audit have been received from branches not visited by us. The company's consolidated and separate statement of financial position and separate statement of profit and loss and other comprehensive income are in agreement with the books of accounts and records. Signed by Chidi on the 26th of March 2024. We also have the report on assurance engagement performed by an independent practitioner on the management assessment of its controls over financial reporting. This is a new requirement for this year ending 2023. And in our opinion, nothing has come to our attention that the internal control procedures over financial reporting put in place by management of the company and its subsidiaries are not adequate as of 31 December 2023, based on the SEC guidance on implementation of Section 60 to 63 of the Investment and Securities Act issued by the Securities and Exchange Commission. What we have audited is in accordance with the international standards of auditing, and our report is also dated 26 March 2024. We have also expressed an unqualified opinion on our audit of the financial statement. This report was also signed by myself on the 2024. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And it's always pleasing to see that you actually signed it and you're here. I will now ask the chairman of the Statutory Audit Committee to read the committee's report that's on page 59. Mr. Lele.
Good morning, Chairman, directors of United Capital, members of the shareholders groups that are here represent. Report of the Statutory Audit Committee 2023 to the members of United Capital PLC. Page 76. In the course of the financial year 2023, the Statutory Audit Committee of United Capital PLC met 4 times as illustrated in the table below, and all members were present. The members are Paul Olele speaking, Pastor Alex Adio on my right, Miss Faith George Usman, supposed to be on my left, is on her way, Mr. Oladipo Fatoku, seated there on a blue dress. Sir Steve Nwedioko is still on the way. He hasn't come. Therefore, in accordance with the provision of Section 404, Article 7 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, the Act, we members of the Audit Committee of United Capital PLC, having performed our statutory obligations under the Act, hereby report that the accounting and reporting policies of the company for the year ended December 31st, 2023 are consistent and ethical practices. The internal audit programs are extensive and provide a satisfactory evaluation of the efficiency of the internal control systems. The scope and planning of the statutory independent audit for the year ended December 31st, 2023 are satisfactory, and we have considered the independent auditor's post-audit report and management responses thereon, and are satisfied with the responses to our question as well as the state of affairs of United Capital PLC. Signed, Follow Lily, dated 26th of March, 2024. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lily. Shareholders, I hereby lay before you the report, and there's an echo somewhere. I hereby lay before you the report and accounts for the year ended December 31st, 2023. You now have an opportunity to ask questions regarding the reports and accounts. In doing so, it would help that we give the right answer if you could refer to the page in the report and accounts to which your question pertains. And please be as brief as possible. State your name before answering the question. Where's the microphone? All right. So why don't we start from the center with the gentleman who's with the lovely golden hat.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, other directors. And good morning, esteemed shareholder. The name is William Adebayo. Mr. Chairman, today, being the 11th annual general meeting, I am happy to congratulate this board for the dividend you are paying. ₦1.80. It's a big deal of money. Give them a round of applause. Mr. Chairman, it's also interesting to know that this organization has become the toast of Nigerian investor. If you look at the shareholders fund, which increased to the tune of 175%. Mr. Chairman, it's a thing of joy. Your shareholders fund rose to the tune of 90.7 billion. Today, the big boys in the financial institution too are jealous of this institution, because you continue to give us good performance every year, moving from one height to another height. Mr. Chairman, while considering your statement and that of the CEO, who is responsible for the day-to-day running of the business, every shareholder cannot run away from the fact that total assets increased by 55% to the tune of 931 billion. So also, total revenue grew by 71% to the tune of 45.9 billion. Please give them a round of applause. Interestingly, today, the Financial Times and the statistics, for the second time running, continue to recognize this institution as a leader in investment banking. Mr. Chairman, today, whichever way you look at it, we must praise this board. And as every concerned shareholder, most of us will be smiling home to the banks today, because ₦1.80 is a great deal of money, whichever way you look at it. But interestingly, if you look at the operating expenses, because if you continue to give us good results, it is also important that your operating expenses must go up. But then if you look at page 142, it sounds funny if we have to pay that big sum of money on general expenses and to also reflect office running expenses. Experience of 1 naira 80 kobo here, we're going to have something like 3 to 5 naira, and beyond that, amen in Jesus' name. Come on, let's give them a round of applause for this wonderful performance. Also, our liquidity ratio performance is attractive as against economic threats, and this enhances the operation of our company as well. I don't have much to say because you have done excellently. I want to appreciate Mr. Peter Ashade for a well-done job. Oh, I follow you 247 on internet. The way you move from one place to another, I don't know how you get that kind of energy to run this kind of business. Please let's appreciate Mr. Peter Ashade for this wonderful performance. The entire board, we appreciate you for opportunity given to us to bake this cake, and at the same time to appreciate our able group's company secretary. I will call his title. Please permit me to do that. Dr. Sir Leo Okafor, PhD, FCIS, ASS, MIOD, KSGI. What's an attractive qualification? We take jealous of that. You have your PhD. We on the seat here, we are coming to have our PhD very soon, so as to have intrinsic value to our company. I want to say a very big thanks to you all for this wonderful performance. And on this note, I would like to submit, and at the same time to promise our company that coming next year, we shall be expecting better sustainability and profitability. On the last note, I would say congratulations to United Capital PLC. Congratulations to eminent shareholders, while I wish every one of us safe journey to our respective home. Thank you for the opportunity. The name once again, Comrade Oguntoye Lawrence. You're welcome.
We have Moses. He's had his hand for a while, and then we'll have Madam, and then we get that. That's it.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Mukhtar.
Thank you, Chairman. The name, once again, is Igrude Moses. First, I really have to congratulate the board, starting from the chairman, Mr. Chade, and our able chair of chair. When we measure chair of chair, we know him.
Thank you.
Whenever you are somewhere, I'm confident, right from the word go, you have been performing. You have shown that, yes, Nigerian can do it. Nigerian can drive this country. Not only like that, when you look at this account today, on page 91, 92, you see the gross. Sure, let me start with the 92. When you see our funding model, is what I said. I spoke about last year. Our borrowing, that is, first of all, what is our business? Fund manager, which I want to talk about. Our borrowed fund, over 100% has increased. Now, let's go back to what our funding model. This funding model, we need to look at it again. You know why? The business of today, because of the Naira devaluation and all of that, our business need more money. If you look at the borrowing, the way it increased, meaning that we need more money. Why? Because if you look at our interest that we pay. Because when you borrow money and the way the CBN have increased the interest now, you will see that we are going to pay huge amount of interest. So how do we refund this business? As when you look at spreading to all West Africa, to Africa, you need more money. So that's when you look at it, you have shareholder fund of 19 billion, share value reserve again 55. When you look our retail earning also moving, so we need to really drive this business very well. And then if you look at our asset, the assets moved by 55%. That is great. Then, what I want to say here is that having done that, the question is, in an economic like this, how do we sustain this, our tempo, for the next 10 years? Because your strategy was, you started 10 years, now 11 years ago, now we are what? 11 years. In the next 5-10 years, where will we be? And how should we sustain this business? And I want such strategy to put in place in such a way that when you do that, it will what? Give us confidence. Then when you look at your product, we have asset management, consumer finance product, investment product, trustee. I want to see where we go, where you say, for example, I want to see a situation where, to avoid where I pass on, I don't want my children or my family to fight. Can you have a product that will say, all my assets, I pass it, I will it to manage it for all the rest of my life? All what you need to do is to manage it. If it's a company, manage it well, do everything here. I will put a list. So amount of money, percentage, you go to here, go here, go here, go here, and I will rest. Nobody fights, nobody. Are we looking at that? Do we have that? Because that is where people are looking at. That will give people comfort. People will be, and anybody's fighting for one family, one son killing the other one. That will not happen if you design product like that and market it very well. So right now, it's wealth management. You need to think hard, develop products that can be attractive to people from every sector. I've seen one for educational fund. Yes, correct. You pay such money. How does it work? Properly marketed. When you pay such money, even you can put money there and you train your children. You don't need to bother yourself, even when you are retired. These are some of these things we need to look at. So I'm just thinking of the way forward. The indices and the metrics you have here in this annual report are superb. And I am confidently saying, on the like mind of shareholders, like mind of Independent Shareholders Association of Nigeria, and the like mind, we are solidly behind you. We are strongly saying that we are going to support you in wherever and whatever form that we need to be to support you. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you. Let me respond very quickly to the first three questions, and then we'll take a next set of questions as well. So that we don't just forget it. What I'll do is, the first thing, there was a comment on operating expenses, and obviously we're all in the same market. The price of things have gone up, and so what you're seeing is the effects of inflation and also the growth in the business as well, right? The comments were well noted. We'll manage that in the business as well, right? The comments were well noted. We'll manage that. The comments by comment, okay, again, well noted. And then I would encourage shareholders to patronize your company. A lot of the products the gentleman described already exist. So please patronize, your company. Our trustees, our wealth management, the various funds, the money comes back to you as well. So if you have any such need, kindly patronize us. I'll take questions from Madam Bisi Bakwe, and microphone. And then I'll take, when you're done, then we'll take from Mr. Patrick Ajidwa, and from Mukhtar, then we'll go for the final set after those three. Please go on. Then we'll go for the final set after those three. Please go on.
Man. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Board of Directors, Regulatory Authority here present this morning, my co-shareholders, good morning. My name is Mrs. Bisi Bakare, shareholder. I'm going to be very brief because I have earlier sent my questions to the MD and the company secretary, about 3 pages of comments and questions. So I'm not going to waste much of your time this morning. Much has been said by the earlier speakers, so I'm going to be very brief. I will go straight to our trade receivables. I observed that our trade receivable increased from 28.54 million in 2022 to 34.49 million in year 2023. I would like to advise the board and management that we should try as much as possible to trim down going forward, because the higher the receivable, the higher the expected credit loss, and if possible, it might go to bad debt. So we should look at it. Lastly, page 10 to page 11, where we have composition of board. The composition of board is in no doubt in line with 2018 Nigeria Code of Corporate Governance in terms of number and size. But my question is that why is the board not balanced in terms of gender? I observed that we have only 1 female director out of 11 directors. This is not good for good corporate governance. Going forward, let us have additional female director. Thank you very much for the opportunity given to me.
Thank you very much. Could I have Patrick, please?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. My name is Patrick Ajudwa. Mr. Chairman, I want to rest on the protocols, and I can't start without thanking you for your leadership quality so far. You have led the board successfully, and we have been seeing the reform. We want to also thank Mr. Ashade and Sonny for their steadfastness in terms of delivery to stakeholders. And we thank the company secretary, who's doing a wonderful job when it comes to stakeholders engagement. And we can see the response so far. We thank the field marshal, I always call him, or the general, Mr. Norom, because he has been bringing value to all the board that he is. I will pray God for more long life for him. To our registrar, we appreciate them because you mentioned them, and we are very soon, once we talk about dividend, you will see your alerts. We have an able and dynamic chief executive officer of the registrar now, who I'm sure learned so much under Mr. Ashade. So we won't be surprised her bringing up, such a type of positive reform. I want to commend the strong financial performance, which saw the gross earning grew by 75%, from 26 billion to 45 billion, the best in 8 years. This was driven by growth in net trading income on page 141 and other income representing 865%. The boost in other income was made possible by exchange gain, interest on staff loans, and gains on disposals of the company's property, plant, and equipment. On page 91/142, we have talked about the other operating expenses which grew due to impairment on credit loss on investment in emerging market sovereign bond instruments, which was downgraded. But my question there is, and I hope Mr. Shade will take note, why did the board decide to incur specific and general impairment expenses? Again, why did the board decide to incur these general expenses? Also, what are the identifiable bond instruments we are talking about? I want to commend the fact that UCAP Security Trading business emerges as the broker by value on the Nigerian exchange, with trading equities valued at over 80 billion and representing 14.8 billion of stock traded in March 2024. Please, let's give a round of applause to them. My question is, going by our 2023 financial performance, how do you hope to sustain this positive growth trajectory in a situation of high inflation, downgrade of sovereign bonds, high interest rates, and the worsening economic policies that we are seeing? On page 39 to 47 is your sustainability report, and I want to really commend you for helping in that area, both for the private and also for the governments. They have talked about the dividend. We thank you very much because we have seen the growth in dividends. My question is, it is noteworthy that UCAP have established itself as a trailblazer in the financial service sector, consistently exceeded expectation. So, Mr. Chairman, what is your outlook for 2024? Once again, what is your outlook for 2024? And how do you hope to set new benchmark for excellence in this year? On page 91, I note the increase in profit after tax to about 11.4 from 9.6, which was made possible due to increase in the net investment income. I will need an explanation. Once again, I will need an explanation as to how a significant portion of this income was traded off at a high interest expenses on managed fund and other borrowed fund. You will see on that page that the managed fund and borrowed fund rose very significantly from 39 billion to 67 billion, and that really rub off on the net investment income. On page 142 is the other operating expenses, and they have mentioned them so that we look at them and know where we can be able to cut short. They have talked about the professional fee, the dividend processing expenses, which I don't know what that means, and then also the issue of the director's fee, which increased from 57 million to 175 million. My question therefore is, deepening financial inclusion via a collective investment scheme participation is a way by which United Capital Asset Management spearheaded the retail participation in mutual fund. Can you please explain this to us, Mr. Shadi, particularly with the work of the United Capital Asset? They have talked about receivables. I won't talk about that. On page 159, 149, and 150, on United Capital Microfinance, the company came in light on 2023. What has been the contribution so far, Mr. Chairman? The MFB, the Microfinance Bank, along with the UC Plus. Mr. Chairman, I'll be rounding up on page 142 and 161. How do you hope to reconcile the figure? Because it also happened last year again. Page 142 and page 161. Particularly, the figure that has to do with director's fee and allowances. On page 142, we have it as 175 million. Previously, it was 57 million was paid. That's on page 142. And when we go to page 161, the figure changed there. And what I'm seeing there is 865 million against 747 million on page 1, I think 167, if I'm right. So I'll be looking forward to you to explain this figure, the one we are to take. Finally, on 164, on the summarized statement of consolidated statements, how do we hope to improve on the contribution of the following? Page 164. And one of them first is the UCAP investment wealth management. When you look at that figure there, it's negative of 1.645 billion. So how do we hope to revive this? 2, it is the trustees. Page 164. The trustees closes also at negative, in bracket, of over 7.8 billion. The third one is the MFB itself, and it closes also in negative of 115 million naira. So I will be looking forward to know, in actual fact, what actually led to them, and what is our expectations to also improve on these 3 or 4 lines of segment that I've seen. Why hoping that by next year, Mr. Chairman, that was why I decided to put on the same color of United Capital, the same suit, because I know Ashade promised to attain 2 naira, but remain small. We are expecting 2.5 by next year. Thank you and God bless you.
Mr. Chairman, our respected board and management of UCAP, regulators present, our hardworking audit committee members, distinguished fellow shareholders, good morning. My name is Alaji Otumba Mukhtar, Chairman of the Trusted Shareholders Association of Nigeria, and Otumba of the whole of Yoruba land. Mr. Chairman, as I stepped into this meeting, I came a little bit late. So when I had the, eloquence of your professorial voice, I said, yes, the chairman has all the reasons to sound, eloquent, because big things are happening at United Capital. Big things are happening. You can see the result they have declared here today. I'm even disappointed with some of our shareholders here. You know why? Last week we were from a bank's meeting on Friday. What was the final dividend of that bank? 1 naira 80 kobo. And you have a small company here that was carved up from out of a bank, giving us same figure as dividend. And you are not, being resounded in your ovation. You should clap for them. You are not clapping from back there. Are you not happy? 1 naira 80 kobo, just like a bank. And you are just keeping down, just looking at them like that. Yes, even some banks are not paying. One bank is paying just 20 kobo. Another 30 kobo. You know, so? These gentlemen, distinguished men and women, they are giving us 1 naira 80 kobo, and you are just looking at them like that. Please appreciate them more. Clap for them, please. It's not resounding. Clap, I beg. You are not clapping. You don't want the dividend. So that's why, I was so surprised. I said, how can we just sit down like that? We should appreciate them. Mr. Shade? Please. Are you sleeping at all? No, you see, these beautiful figures here. These beautiful figures here. Everyone, even ghosts. I think some ghosts may be even, investing in the company. If they see this result, they know that, yes, we have a capable hand there. I congratulate you for this excellent performance. You know, beginning with, UCAP was recognized among the fastest growing companies in Africa by the influential Financial Times of London in 2023. Did you know what this recognition means for the company? It's because they are doing well, and even people there, investors there, they recognize that the company is doing well. That is why they gave us this, award. Mr. Chairman, I'm very, very happy for all the, figures that came in. You see the total assets of the company grew 55% year on from 601 billion, 0.9 billion naira to 931.95 billion naira in just, from 2022 to 2023, in just a year. Mr. Chairman, the shareholders fund also grew by 175% to 90.7 billion naira from 32.9 billion naira. Likewise, Mr. Chairman, the return on average equity stood at 18%, signifying value creation for shareholders. And we can see with the dividend you have declared, and of course, the share appreciation. In 2022, we used to, the share price stood at 14 naira. But by last year, it reached up to 25.30 kobo before it closes at 23 naira. I think this is very, very commendable. The value have created for the shareholders, apart from the dividend they have been consistent with over the years. Mr. Chairman, I truly congratulate you about all this. Mr. Chairman, the vision you had over some years ago about the African expansion, I think has begun to pay off. You can see that we have a strong presence in Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire, apart from Nigeria. And I know the company is looking forward to other African countries. I think this is going to help the company in the future, and is going to grow our businesses and grow our profits and grow the dividend for the shareholders. Mr. Chairman, this is a very, very, strategic position, thinking that you took, and you are still pursuing it. Mr. Chairman, our market capitalization stood at 138 billion naira, which is up by 64% from 84 billion naira in 2022. I think, Mr. Chairman, these are very, very commendable, achievements you people have been able to, cover. And you see, that is why we have always made it open ourselves that every year we have to be present in order to celebrate you. Because since this company was, came on board, you have been dazzling us with very good figures. You have been giving us dividend, very consistent in your dividend payout. I think this is very, very commendable, and this is what all shareholders want. That is why we make it open ourselves that we have to be present at any annual general meeting, except if we are going to do it by proxy. So, Mr. Chairman, I commend you for all these beautiful results. Last 2 months or 3, we were at the stock exchange, that is the NGX, and one of the big players there, he was referring to Professor Norom. He said, "You look at Norom now, you think he didn't know anything." Yes, because he is very quiet, he is not pompous. But you see, behind the scenes, if you go in any sector of the economy you take, he has something to say there. That is why you see him here just keeping quiet also, just as if he didn't know anything. But he's a major player. So we commend you, Professor, for all the value you have been giving the company. And I wish you, long life and, good health to continue to contribute to the company. So Ashade, we thank you so much for this result. We have continued to, feel you. We have continued to, associate with you. And even behind your back, we have been discussing among ourselves that, is Mr. Ashade sleeping? Because this result, you can't achieve it when you are sleeping. When you are sleeping, the 8 hours or 9 hours, in a day, you cannot achieve this result. So I will really commend you for that, for this excellent performance. And to our distinguished, company secretary, Mr. Leo, people, Dr. Sir Leo Okafo. Yes, you can see people have continued to, say the good things that have been associated with you. We know the quality you have been exhibiting. We have understood how you take stakeholder, relationships very important. And that is why you see people have also continued to express that at annual general meetings. Thank all of you very much, and I wish the good Lord to give all of you long life, good health, and to continue, doing the good job for our company. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you. We'll take two more comments, and then it would be nice to have a woman from that side. If there's a lady from that side, so that we get. Then give her the microphone, please. Yes, and then we pick some from that side. Oh, my in-law.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, my fellow shareholder, the coordinator present. My name is Mrs. C.O. Obideyi, National Coordinator of ACOG Shareholder Association Incorporated. Sir, when I was giving the annual report, the front page shows that the board are working hard. With what it is being written in the front page, shows whom they are. Secondly, sir, whenever one take annual report, attendance is very important. I go to page 55, 57, 58. When I saw the attendance, I know that we'll collect dividend, because that is where you always know the dividend of the company, the attendance. Mm-hmm. Sir, I will call Mr. Norom and Mr. Shade a teacher. There is difference between teacher and lecturer. Either you know it or you don't know it, lecturer will come and take you. But teacher will teach you how to farm, how to get the money. By force, by fire, you must know it. So, I give you that recommendation. Yeah. The teacher are the people that make people that are valuable today become somebody. So, in that aspect, you are a teacher. You teach us a better thing. So, let's give the two of them a round of applause. The registrar, I will give the head of Sise Mwosu a recommendation. There is no time you expect your dividend, you will get it. When you get to registrar department for your state dividend or anything, you get it. And annual reports, very, very essential. They always make sure the SEC law, they take it. Because 21 days before the meeting, you will get APR annual report. Any company they are doing before 21 days. I believe most of the leader, you can testify to that. I would like to congratulate our company for the award that was given to them in the course of the year. Sir, in page 174 to 184, I saw the picture. I was amazed of the staff and what they've done during the year. But sir, I now ask myself a question. The question is, we shareholder, are we not important to you? Our picture is not there. I did not see it. So I only saw their picture from 174 to. Okay. Okay. Sir, my last question is our expensive. Cash lost expensive. It grew up from 113% increased to 13 billion 700 to 29 billions. Let's look at that. Don't let us invest on the investment that will not bring profit to us. Let's think of better thing. A investment that will be giving us loss. I know Mr. Shade is capable. Let's forget about it. Thank you and God bless you. And I pray that we should have a good journey mercy to our destination.
Thank you very much for your brevity. So the gentleman with the hat there, and then we take the final. Go ahead. Please, brevity. We have.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I stand on the existing structured protocol. My name is Dr. Kazim Olaiwola. I came from Alheri Shareholders Association based in Kaduna, and I'm happy to inform you that it holds to a decade today that I have not missed your annual general meeting. Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, permit me to say that I will avoid slight repetition. The slight I will avoid is just for you to have the advantage of getting the rudiments of most of our complaints so that you can get back to the drawing board and make necessary adjustment. Number one, page 142. Let me say, Mr. Chairman, the notes to the consolidated and separate financial statements, the item on it that falls on number 19, which has to do with files, is very, very encouraging. Majority of people will say, well, shall I say, penalizing a company or an institution like us is very encouraging. It is because when you look at it, you look at the amounts and you see a very moderate charges that are levied against us. But however, I will implore the company and strongly warn that we should avoid future fines from our regulators. Point number 2, Mr. Chairman. Our presence and fund in most notable countries like Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, and Nigeria, our own country. But permit me to say, why can't we give a marching order to our research team to find a way of getting our businesses in the Northern Africa, in the North Africa, which is another very juicy area where we can make an headway. Furthermore, Mr. Chairman, I have been mandated by my group mates that we need to know what is the progress, our progress on the United Capital Microfinance. We have been reading it on news, getting information on the website about the progress of the company, but deeper insight for this microfinance has not been analyzed. I will implore you, especially our CEO, to please embark on a journey on information dissemination of this noble legacy. Mr. Chairman, I can observe the company in some years back that our corporate social responsibility is being centered in the Southwest and probably other regions which I've not been to. But let me appeal at this juncture. The northern part institutions will equally benefit from all the CSR in order to bring back goodies to the industry. Let me emphasize more, if you don't understand it. Dangote Cement, Bua Cement, they have a project at some selected postgraduate colleges in our universities. I'm happy to inform you that I'm a member of that team. To the glory of God, most of the products that we have been bringing out, they are making good impact in these companies. If UC PLC can equally join the team, it will give us a very good name, globally and nationally. Mr. Chairman, on a final note, annual general meetings has been centered in the city of the nation, which is FCT Abuja. Can I make a passionate appeal? If you can just stroll down to Kaduna and have a very joyful day, it shall be appreciated. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. So we'll take the last question, and please be. Let's take the last question. Please be as brief as possible, and we'll not. So I'll just as brief as possible. I'll take my in-law, so you don't. Go ahead.
My respected chairman of United Capital PSC, my name is Sir Olatunde Okelana, the Balogun Olugban of Orile-Egban in Oyo State. I lead the Zonal Shareholder Mobilization Committee, and I'm a security consultant after serving the military for 35 years. My respected chairman, I'm so happy to see you today. Last year for you was the chairman of the meeting. We know the challenges of last year, but that is behind us. Why I am happy to be here today is because of the team you have. You have wonderful people on the board, especially people like Peter Sade, who has experience from various places before coming here. You know, the annual report we have with us is very, very historical. And not everybody will just be looking from one page to the other to be discussing that. Under corporate governance, I saw your performance. Please give them a very good round of applause. My chairman, I must commend your management, the way things are looking up, because of all the portfolio you have. But I want to make a passionate appeal. During the last offer of Transcorp Power, we were not convinced, we were not told, or we were not, informed that we should open our investment account or trading account. It took me almost 5, 6, 7 days to get it. It was Peter Sade that came to my rescue, and I bought it higher than what I'm supposed to buy it. So if you have your investment banking people here, let us fill your form. Having 10 CSS account in Nigeria is not a bad one. I'm not too happy. It took me a long time. Because why I say this is that you are the leader in the industry. Others will always follow you. But my brother, let us always guard the information at our fingertips. Information is key. The day you open, that is the day I gave money to another stockbroker. And because it's a very competitive market, people that pass through you got it that day and at a cheaper rate. Please encourage us to do the more. I am very happy to be here today because tomorrow I will be in the 6th floor. You know what I mean? Tomorrow is my birthday. And I'm here today to give you support because everybody is growing old. I want to meet people there. So tomorrow is my birthday and I deem it free to come to your AGM. I am very happy to be here. My respected professor and in-law, I appreciate your leadership quality. And that's why you have these good people behind you, especially when you have in your team. All of us, we love him. He's a silent worker. He's a workaholic, but he works quietly, doesn't make noise. It won't be nice for me to sit down without mentioning the achievement of the APR. They are the leader in the registry of this country. Please give them a very good round of applause. They always reach us very well, and we are very happy about their performances. And we are happy that it's one of the quoted registrar in this country and their leader. And their performance cannot be overlooked without mentioning Peter Sade. Please, thank you for what you've done there. And why we are happy today is because of Catherine Nwosu. She's the one we know from the pillar, from JKE Fort. When UBA was a registrar department at Primos Tower, we know what it means. I follow the trend, and like I know them. It's the first people I have encounter with in this country, because UBA was the first shares I bought. So that's why I became closer to them. And I want to thank you for allowing Luke, our own Leo, Sir Leo, PhD. I thank God for your life, and we are very happy that you are the closest bridge to the shareholder. Please, the chairman, continue to empower him. We are very happy, and God bless you. And I thank you mostly for giving me an opportunity to speak today. Thank you, and God bless all of us here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And let me apologize that we couldn't take more comments, but we have to move on. Thank you very much. A lot has been said, a lot of goodwill and commendations and good thoughts. Thank you for those. I think we are very fortunate. Your company is very fortunate. We're fortunate to have the caliber of the management of the company. Peter's team is doing an excellent job, and a lot of questions revolved around the future and the plan. We're thinking 10 years ahead, and a lot of what you're seeing are the plans we had in the past. We obviously, you can't predict with certainty what would happen, but we have strategies that have been crafted around what we see happening. A few products where suggestions were made. I would dare say that all those products already exist with your company, and please patronize your company and the products. Bawo is the CEO of securities subsidiary and is here. You get the message. So all shareholders should be encouraged to open investment accounts. There he is, the tall, stately gentleman who's there. So please, you can go online as well, open the accounts, and don't wait till when you have to buy a particular security. Then contact, it's your company, so please contact this, the service number or the desk. And if that can't work, then escalate it to us. Thank you for your support. There are questions, some questions were directed specifically to the GMD, so he will take those questions. The broader questions around the outlook, I think what you've seen happen, and some of this over as we look at the directors being nominated and we appointed, you will see this. Same thing has happened at the management level. There has been a massive boost in terms of capabilities. We've built up capabilities to reflect, first of all, the plans of the future, and then a high pace of growth so that we can consolidate. And we have every reason to believe that you're going to see strong, sustained performance going forward. In terms of the gender representation, it's a source of concern to us as well. Well, there was a time, those of you who have been here long enough can remember, when there were more female faces on the table. So it's a phase we're going through, but we're working and thinking about it, and I'm very conscious of it. The microfinance bank, well, you would mention that performance, he would speak about that. I think these are the broad questions on my part. Yes, in terms of interest and managed funds and the rest of it, some of those numbers obviously reflect the growth. So if you have more funds under management, you're going to pay out more, you have more interest. And we've grown to a sizable, as you can see, it's more like your average Nigerian bank than anything else. Thank you for your support. Peter, please.
Good morning once again, everyone. Distinguished shareholders, we are always very excited every time we come around and we got feedback from you. I recall last year a lot of feedback, and I can really reassure you that this feedback usually we go back, review it, and we usually work on it. We like it, keep it coming, because this is antidote for the growth that we celebrate today. Yes, a lot of our colleagues, whether I'm sleeping or not, I want to sincerely request that you permit me, even though we have their name in the annual report, they are here. The great team that is delivering this result is not only a tree does not make a forest. So I have them. So if you're asking whether I'm sleeping, it's not about whether we are sleeping. So we have here the MD of the security business, Bawo Richardjafo. The MD of the trust business, Michael Thomas. The MD of the digital bank you are asking, I will speak to it, Esther Adeola Balogun. The MD of asset management business, Odiri Ogini. We have the head of wealth management in terms of Adetola, sorry, it skipped me, Adetola here. We have the MD of our investment banking, Dr. Gbadebo. We have our Director of Resources, Oluseye Komolafe. Our group CFO is here, Shedrack Onapoma. And last but not we have two. We have Director of our Digital Transformation, Tessileme Yusuf. And last but not the least, we have the Director for Africa Operation. You see the direction we're going in terms of AGK Okoli. These are the people. They were more than this, but majorly when we talk about this team, these are team that are, God is using at this point in time to do what we have here. And we are quite very, very happy to be here today. Please let me say that. So I want to plead with shareholders. We thank some of the shareholders that sent in their questions earlier. We appreciate that a lot because the time we usually have here is not sufficient for us to give us all the feedback. And those feedbacks are very, very important. So please, we want you to send it before AGM so that we have it. It's not only for today, but as we go ahead in the year. So please, let's keep it coming. In terms of products, a lot is happening, and we are doing a lot. I can tell you, we have a product development team that look at a lot of factors to see how we grow. On the question of specific and general impairment, and this, because we are audited based on international standard of auditing, this is based on prudent principles and is a provision. So we can either charge or write back. So we are just being prudent, to have these provisions. By next year, end of next year, and I can assure you we already put strategy in place and our risk framework to address this issue. I can assure you by the end of 2024, it is going to be a positive write back, as it were. In terms of the outlook for 2024, I can assure you is green. One thing for us, this is the second term. We started our 3-year strategy plan in 2019. The first one ended in 2021. We are running the second phase from 2022 to 2024. This is the last lap for 2024. Then so we pick it 3 years because we are mindful of a lot of uncertainty in the system. But be rest assured, we are on track to deliver value even better than we promised last year. To God be the glory today. We are presenting this, and this year will not be an exception. In terms of borrowed fund, these are part of the strategic position we took when we saw. We took it, and for us, is even though we have cost, but the benefit outweighs the cost. Deepen financial inclusion, asset management, and it's critical because under our asset management we have collective investment scheme, which are the mutual funds. Currently, we have 9, and not so many people are aware that you can even invest as low as 1,000 naira. So part of what we try to do is to, publicize to the extent that you don't need 500 million, you don't need 500,000, you don't need 1 million to invest. If you have that investment, we are professionals, advisors. We can utilize your fund efficiently for you. So part of what we are saying is increasing the financial literacy, increasing financial inclusion through investment in this scheme will enable you to grow your wealth, as it were. So that was on the issue of the directors' fees and the page 142 and 161. The 142, they are for non-executive directors, and that's why you see executive directors don't collect fees. So that's why you see director fees and allowance, whereas the other one are for the executive, and that is a critical difference on that. Performance of various subsidiary, the impact of the impairment is what you saw in the we write charge, some other years we write back. We're putting structure in place to ensure that come next year, all the subsidiary, they will operate at the profit level. But by and large, let me once again, these are the critical questions based on what we receive. Let me once again thank everyone, the directors, the shareholders, for the guidance, support that we have always been given. We appreciate you. Please keep it coming. We are here to ensure that we continue to grow your wealth as the year passes by. Thank you.
Thank you, JMD. Pursuant to Section 248 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, I hereby declare that all resolutions for consideration at this meeting will be taken by poll and electronic voting, except the resolution for the election of members of the Statutory Audit Committee, which will be by show of hands. I hereby call on the representatives of the registrars, Mrs. Catherine Wosu, who you've commended very much today, to guide through the process at this meeting. Brevity, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, good morning. Prior to this meeting, we have received and captured the voting details for 368 shareholders received by proxy and holding 3,345,219,538 units of United Capital PLC shares, which represents 55.75% of the issued share capital of the company. At this meeting, we'll be collating the total votes of shareholders voting physically in addition to the proxies received to get the final result. Distinguished shareholders, recall that at the point of accreditation, you were issued with voting devices. Before we start the voting, we will carry out a keypad test to activate the keypads. To activate the keypads, please, you need to press any key on the device. The voting will be open for 60 seconds. You will need only 2 keys to vote, that is 1 or 2. When the voting opens, you press 1 to vote in favor of the resolution, or you press 2 to vote against the resolution. If you press any other key, it will be assumed that you have abstained from voting. You have the flexibility to change your vote within the 60 seconds window by simply selecting the alternative option. Once the voting period ends, your last selected voting option will be registered as your final vote. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Catherine. The next item on the agenda is the declaration of dividend of 10,800,000,000 naira only, gross. The directors are recommending a dividend of 1 naira 80 kobo for every ordinary share of 50 kobo to all shareholders in the company's register of members as of April 9th, 2024. To shareholders for the financial year ended December 31st, 2023, naira only. I hereby move that a dividend of 10,823,000,000 be paid to all shareholders of the company as at the close of business on April be and is hereby declared. Would someone please rise? The lady, yeah, could you please give?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Adeli.
Thank you. I now put the motion to the meeting. Would all those in favor of using the admission cards in their right hands?
Please,
Oh, the polling. Okay, so we don't need to raise hands then.
please activate your keypads. Just press any key. Okay? The voting will be open for 60 seconds. The voting has started. Please press 1 if you are in favor of the resolution, or you press 2.
Is that it on the screen?
We have 40 seconds remaining. Please vote. 25 seconds remaining. Please vote if you are yet to do so. Five seconds remaining. The voting has ended. The single shareholders, we have 3,319,538 units, 219,538 units of shares voting in favor of the resolution. This represents 100% of shareholders voting, both as proxy and physically present shareholders. There is no vote against the resolution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. The next item on the agenda is the re-election of directors. In accordance with Section 2851 of CAMA 2020, at the AGM in every subsequent year, 1/3 of the directors for the time being shall retire from office and be eligible for re-election. So I hereby present to you Mr. Emmanuel Unoram, who you're familiar with, and is retired by rotation and has offered himself for re-election. Would someone please rise and second the motion? Please.
I'm happy to associate myself with the success of Mr. Noromo. In view of this, I write to second that motion, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay.
My name is Eric Akinduro.
Thank you. I now put the motion to the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Shareholders, please go ahead and vote. The voting is on. Press either 1 or 2. "35 seconds more.
Is it because we recall it so? Okay. Okay. No, but if they don't call for phone, you can call.
15 seconds more.
No, but we don't need the phone. Okay.
5 seconds to go. The voting has ended. We have 3,345,219,538 units of shares, representing 100% of the votes cast by shareholders and proxies voting in favor of the resolution. There is no vote against this resolution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. So, Mr. Emmanuel Unoram is duly re-elected. And I hereby declare the motion being duly carried. Next, I present to you, who is here virtually, Mr. Oluleke Ogunlewe, who's retiring by rotation and has offered himself for re-election. Will someone please rise and second the motion? Okay, you.
Mr. Chairman, you imposed this resolution on me because he did not attend all the board meetings. So I would have loved not to second this motion, but because you have said so, my name is Prince Hamza Ridwan. I rise to second that motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Prince. Registrar.
Please vote. Press 1 in favor of the resolution or 2 if you are against the resolution. "40 seconds to go. "30 seconds more. We are counting down. Please vote. 10 seconds to go. Two seconds more. The voting has ended. We have 3,345,219,538 units of shares, representing 100% of the votes cast by proxies and shareholders voting in favor of the resolution. There is no vote against this resolution. Thank you.
I declare the motion carried, and Mr. Ogunlewe is hereby re-elected to the board. Thank you. His face is on the screen, if you can all see the handsome gentleman. All right. Since the last AGM, new directors were appointed in accordance with Section 274 of CAMA 2020. We hereby seek the approval, your kind approval, for their appointment. The directors seeking approval of appointment are Mr. Ayodeji Adigun, Mr. Chiugo Undubisi. Please stand up so they can recognize you. Mr. Sam Wanze, Mr. Uche Ike, who is here virtually and can be seen on the screen, and Mrs. Rose Nat Eshet. Okay, please sit down. All right, please sit down. I hereby move that the appointment of Mr. Ayodeji Adigun be and is hereby approved as a director of the company. Would someone please rise to... Yeah, this one.
Thank you for giving me the honor, Mr. Chairman. My name is Imam Muhammad,
Okay.
SB Atanda,
Okay.
Chief Imam, Conflict Mosque in Nigeria,
Mm.
President, Conference Shareholders Association of Nigeria. I hereby rise to support the motion, to second the motion. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Registrar, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has opened. Please vote. "45 seconds more. "35 seconds to go. "25 seconds to go. We are counting down. "10 more seconds. The voting has ended. Distinguished shareholders, we have 3,345,219,538 units of shares, representing 100% of the votes cast voting in favor of the resolution. There is no vote against this resolution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I hereby declare the resolution carried, and Mr. Ayo Adigo is duly appointed as a director, ratified as director. Thank you. Next, I hereby move that the appointment of Mr. Chiugo Ndubisi be and is hereby approved as a director of the company. Would someone please rise and second this motion?
Mr. Chairman, thank you for giving me a wonderful opportunity this morning. Despite I want to speak during the main meeting, but I was not allowed. Thank you again. My name is Prince Adewale from Ibadan. Only Prince, son in Ibadan land. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please, it should second the motion. He did second it.
He did second it.
Sir, you need to second the motion.
Okay, I second the motion. Prince Adewale Aremu from Ibadan, the son of the soil.
Thank you very much. Registrar, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has commenced. The voting has commenced. Please vote. "45 seconds to go. "30 seconds more. "20 seconds to go. "5 seconds to go. The voting has ended. Distinguished shareholders, we have 3,345,219,538 units of shares, representing 100% of the votes cast voting in favor of the resolution. There is no vote against this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And the motion is hereby carried, and Mr. Chiugo Ndubisi is duly appointed. Congratulations. I hereby move that the appointment of Mr. Samuel Mwanze be and is hereby approved as a director of the company. Would someone please rise and second this motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Pastor Lagoke Samson Olusegun. I second that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has commenced. "55 seconds more. The voting is on. "30 seconds to go. "20 seconds more. 10 seconds to go. The voting has ended. We have 3,345,219,538 units of shares, representing 100% of votes cast voting in favor of the resolution. There is no vote against the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So the motion is hereby carried. And distinguished shareholders, just to say, as you all read in the profiles of the directors, we are very fortunate to have these directors. Each of them is a fellow, fellows of ICANN, fellows of International, ICMA, and very, very competent people. We are very fortunate to have them. Thank you. The next candidate, I hereby move that the appointment of Mr. Uche Ike be and is hereby approved as a director of the company. He's with us virtually. Would someone please rise and second this motion? The gentleman on the right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I, Engineer Abinowo, I second the motion.
Thank you. Registrar, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has commenced. The voting is ongoing. Thirty seconds more. Twenty seconds to go. Five seconds to go. Voting has ended. The distinguished shareholders, we have 3,345,219,538 units of shares, representing 100% of the votes cast voting in favor of the resolution. There is no vote against this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. I hereby declare the motion is duly carried, and congratulations, Mr. Ike. You can see him on the screen as well. The next director, I hereby move that the appointment of Mrs. Rosenat Eshed be and is hereby approved as the director of the company. Would someone please rise and second this motion? Gentleman in white.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Lawan Abdullah Akim, all the way from Lagos. I do second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting is open. Forty seconds to go. Thirty more seconds. Fifteen seconds more. Five seconds more. The voting has ended. Distinguished shareholders, we have 3,344,238 18,938 units of shares, representing 100% of the votes cast voting in favor of the resolution. There is no vote against the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. I hereby declare the motion carried, and congratulations, Mrs. Rose Nadesha. Thank you. The next, good job, India. The next item is the remuneration of directors, and the next is a resolution to fix the remuneration of the directors of the company in accordance with section 293(1) of CAMA. And I hereby move that the resolution approving the remuneration of non-executive directors for 2024 in the sum of 230 million cumulatively for all non-executive directors be and is hereby approved. Would someone please rise and second this motion?
This side.
Lady, please.
Come on.
Lady, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Alhaja Bakari Sherifat. I second the
motion. Thank you, Registrar.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders voting in.
Yeah, that's right.
I will give you a quick
Let you later.
Sorry.
45 seconds to go.
Sorry. Yes, don't worry. It doesn't take any point. Everybody can collect.
30 seconds more. Seconds to go. 5 more seconds. The voting has ended. Distinguished shareholders, we have 3,345,219,538 units of shares, representing 100% of the votes cast voting in favor of the resolution. There is no vote against this resolution. Thank you.
I hereby declare the motion carried. The next item is the remuneration of auditors. I hereby move that the directors be and are hereby authorized to fix the remuneration and expenses of the auditors for the year ending December 31st, 2024.
Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I hereby second the motion. My name is Peace Mosu. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has commenced. We have 60 seconds for this exercise.
You collected the mic at
40 seconds more.
Ahead.
25 seconds to go. Two seconds to go. The voting has ended. Distinguished shareholders, we have 3,345,219,538 units of shares, representing 100% of the votes cast voting in favor of the resolution. There is no vote against the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. I hereby declare the motion duly carried. The next item is for information purposes only Section 238 of CAMA 2020 required companies to disclose the remuneration of managers. Please refer to note 35 on page 161 of the annual report for details of the remuneration of managers as required by this law. As I did say, it's for information purposes only. Thank you. Next, we have election of members of the audit committee. The directors nominated to represent the board on the statutory audit committee are Mr. Dipo Fatokun, Mr. Uche Ike, who is with us virtually. The company secretary has confirmed that for the non-director members, that a total of 3 valid nominations were received. And these are Mr. Paul Elele, Mr. Adeshino Alayaki, sorry, forgive me for mutilating the name. Can you see him? Can everyone see him?
Let them come up recognition.
Thank you. Yes. And finally, Mr. Lawrence Ogutoye. I hereby move that these 3 persons be returned unopposed as representatives of the shareholders for another term. Would someone please rise and second the motion?
Mr. Chairman, in doing that, my name is Prince Hamza Ridwan, but then I think before I do that, there is need for us to commend the company and the registrar's department. It is true that we have a lot of work to do on this IT thing, including our voting pattern and the rest of it. But then, the commendation comes from the fact that we just passed a motion for the dividend, and as we speak, virtually everybody in this hall can attest to the fact that we have all gotten our dividends. Thank you very much. I rise to second the motion. Hamza Ridwan is the name.
Thank you, Hamza. Registrar, you are commended for your work. So please go on for the vote.
Best paymaster in Nigeria.
There's a vote for that, yes, sir.
Show of hands. It's for show of hands.
Oh, okay. It's not with the. Okay, could we have a show of hands for those in favor of the motion returning this? Show of hands for those in favor. Okay, it looks unanimous. If anyone objects to the motion, if you object to it, please show your hand. Okay, there's none. So I hereby declare that this motion has been duly carried. And based on this, the members of the Statutory Audit Committee for the next 1 year are Mr. Paul Olele, Mr. Adeshino Alayaki, Mr. Lawrence Ogutoye, Mr. Oladipupo Fatokun, and Uche Ike. Ladies and gentlemen, as okay, this is noted. Ladies and gentlemen, as there is no other business, is that point of order? Okay.
The chairman of the board. Please, Mr. Chairman, we want to let it be on record our appreciation to the board under your leadership and to Mr. Ashade and the other management team for the opportunity they have given to us to have this open meeting. When we got to the EGM last year, I was so afraid that the next meeting will come virtual. But I think they've given us opportunity to share with us and to relate with us. And you can see the atmosphere is very electrifying. So we thank you very much. We appreciate you.
And we ask that others should also note the importance of this type of meeting. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much. And as there's no other business on the agenda, I would like to say thank you, a very deep thank you, on behalf of all members of the board for attending this meeting and showing so much interest in the company. We got a lot of letters, we got a lot of goodwill comments, and we got a lot of questions as well. Thank you very much indeed.